it could have gone more than that.
Yeah.
The agent that they've listed with rushed at the market,
Yeah.
auction, but sold it in the first week.
Yeah.
2.35 million. So based on our appraisal, they've lost the owner 150 to $350,000.
Somewhere in there, yeah. Definitely.
That owner was well into his 80s, somewhere there.
Lovely old man. Yep.
Poor old guy. You've just been done.
Yeah.
Sorry to say it. The agent's going to hate my guts. Don't give us stuff. You got done. You got done big time.
Way under when you look at the other sales that are happening around
that
the area.
property should have sold for more money.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. No two ways about that.
Yeah.
All right. What about? So that's out of the way.
Yeah.
I'll get a phone call. I'll get a message or something.
I'd say you will.
Bring it on. I don't care. What about new listings to the market this week?
Yeah, it's about 16.
16. So down stock levels. So we're seeing the continuing trend. We've seen a tightening of stock generally.
Yep.
So good sellers market at the moment.
Oh, yeah, fantastic.
Yep.
So obviously every week the stock level's getting lower and lower because we're selling more than we're listing.
And they're selling quickly. There's heaps of buyers on the database trying to jump in.
It's
Now,
unbelievable.
like the number of email inquiries we're getting, they're just, can you put me on your database? This is what I'm looking at. Prepared to buy straight away once I find the right thing.
Yeah.
That's just everywhere
Yeah.
at the moment. So
And cash buyers and desperate buyers too in the market at the moment who have said we've sold,
Yep.
we need to be in something by this date.
that's it.
So,
Yeah. It's
that's
a
what
fear
we
of
want.
everyone having sold and not having somewhere to go to.
Yeah, exactly. Spoke about
It's
that
a
last week.
justified fear. Yep, for
Yep.
sure. But sometimes it's the only way to go about it.
It is.
All right. What about open homes this weekend?
Yeah, I think we've got 5 only this
Yep.
week.
Yep.
Because everything's selling.
We've basically our auction campaign for the 20th of March.
Yep.
Originally had 8.
Yeah, had 8
properties
ready.
on it. Yeah, in the last week you sold another 2 on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yep.
So originally started with 8. We sold 4 prior.
Yep.
Got 4 left there. The 1.4 sale was one of those auctions
one.
as well. So 3 of those auction properties been sold this
Yep.
week.
Yep.
So losers with 5 open homes, those 4 auctions plus 1 other open home at
Exactly.
the moment for this weekend.
Yep.
So a few properties there still for people to come and have a look at.
Yep.
Some great properties there still amongst
A
that.
couple of
for
new
sure.
ones ready to hit the market. We're just
Yep.
finishing up the marketing because, as you know, we don't rush ours onto the market.
That's it.
Like to do it
One of
all
the points we'll
properly.
talk about in a little while. Yep.
Yep.
For sure. So getting into that, Scott, your tips for anyone looking to sell, who's going to sell,
Yep.
what's your best tips for them at the
It's
moment?
just really important to do it properly. If you're going to sell your house,
Absolutely.
go through the process. Number one, it's first impression. I
Yep.
always find the street appeal of your property. So have the lawns and gardens all looking nice, freshly mown, mulch, that type of thing through the garden. Clean the driveway down, pressure wash it if you have to.
Work for your son's place?
Yeah, work to
Yep.
treat, yeah. And just wash down the front of the house because
Yep.
this time of year, been a bit windy, rain, there's a lot of dust and dirt around.
Salt air,
Yeah.
all that sort of thing.
So
Just, yep.
give everything a good clean down because that first impression really matters.
Absolutely.
The next one is declutter.
Yep.
One of the big things is decluttering the home. Get rid of the things that you don't need or that you rarely use.
Yep. Should
Remove-
move a storage shed,
Yeah,
something like that,
yeah,
or
best way.
Vinnies.
Sell it, give it to Vinnies,
Yep.
have a garage sale, whatever you need to do. Get rid of any of your larger items of furniture too.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to use a word with superfluous.
Oh,
and I
I was trying to confuse you before we started.
Yeah,
Yep.
but no, like your big items of furniture, it makes walking around the home easier. So if we've got an open home, we've got a few groups through. It just
Free
gives
flowing.
that free flow.
You
Yeah.
want it to be, yep.
Yep. It also creates the feeling of open space,
Yep,
which
absolutely.
everyone loves. Next one, number 3, is depersonalise. That's one I've sort of argued backwards and forwards over the years
Yep.
to get rid of the family portraits, photos, fridge magnets, your kids' artwork and
You
that.
don't want it overdone.
No, that's the thing. There's a line there. I used to always think it gave the house that homely feel.
Yep.
To lived in, it's a home. So, but that's up to the individual. I think that one.
There's difference between being cold and being
Exactly.
over the top on it. Yep.
Yeah.
You got to find the line.
Big one that I like to work with all my vendors is get them to walk through the house before we get ready, as if they're the buyer
Yep.
of the property. Walk through the front door and go through it as you're looking to buy the
Be
house.
objective. Yeah.
Have a critical eye. Find those little things that the buyers always pick out. It's down to little things like clean power points and light switches.
Yep.
The taps are polished and that type of thing.
Yep. All those little jobs that you've been thinking for 5 years, you'll get to
I'll
one
get
day.
to that one day. Yeah, of course. The other thing, your cooktop, your oven, your dishwasher, have them all nice and clean and fresh.
Absolutely.
And that goes for your bathrooms, toilets, that type of thing. Have them spotless, smelling nice and fresh.
Kitchens and bathrooms, still homes.
Of course,
Yep.
they are the big
There's
ones.
no reasonable guy is going to overrule what the wife says, and wives buy kitchens and bathrooms.
Exactly.
Yep.
They're the two big ones. The other little things like don't have washing hanging up on the clothesline.
Yep.
When we're
If you've got an
showing
open home,
through. Yeah.
Get everything out of the way.
Get it away. The other ones they say is pet bowls, pack all your pet bowls away, and just little things like that. Just make the place look as neat and tidy as possible.
Like a show home.
Exactly.
End of the day,
People are very discerning these days when they're looking
absolutely.
around. The other one, number 5, I think this is an absolute must, is to have a pest and building report done prior to going onto the market. A couple of reasons. It allows us to analyse and address any issues that could be raised in the report too.
Yep. Absolutely.
The other way, we can either make a decision then whether we fix them, have the inspector come back and revise the report.
Because what we're talking about doing is getting a pest and building report to give to buyers.
That's it.
So we get it. The pest and building inspector will sign it over to a successful buyer for a small fee.
Yep.
The conclusion of the sale. We want to get that report, know of any issues up front, so don't come as a surprise.
That's it.
Perhaps get them fixed, and then the building inspector can revisit that and rule them out of the report.
Yep.
And ideal if we get a clean report, totally clean report.
Perfect.
But nothing comes as surprising.
No.
But we want to make the buying process easy for a buyer.
There's nothing worse than having a good offer accepted on a property.
And
the
you
building
find what
report
is.
comes in and it's a nightmare.
Yep.
And the buyer walks away, and straight away we've got issues then.
Yep.
But it gives us the way to also takes into consideration where you're going to set the selling price for it.
Absolutely. You
For the
may have to
property.
adjust it if there's a big issue, or you may choose not to sell it.
Exactly.
If there's a big issue and save all the hassle.
But it's a must. And
Yep.
so is the next one, number 6, appoint a professional agent to look after the sale of your home.
Yep.
Interview, ask the right questions, ask the agent all the questions that you can think of.
Yep.
Find out what his responses or her responses are going to be to the questions. But in coming into that, you've got to have professional marketing.
Yep.
I've noticed lately with everyone rushing properties onto the market, the standard has just dropped of what we're
Absolutely.
seeing. I think a must is professional photos, a video and a floor plan at a minimum.
Yep.
And you don't rush your property to the market. Get it all done right.
So, let's look at the realities of life. So, the video, photos, floor plan, we charge
$350.
$350 to do, sometimes I think Kyle does way too many photos of a property, but the photos, great video,
Yep.
and a floor plan, for that amount of money, if you're not doing that on any reasonable property, there's something, you can't be serious.
No. Well, for example, the one we sold on Saturday,
Yep.
the person who bought it hasn't seen the house yet.
Right.
He hasn't visited the property.
Yep.
He
But it
bought
had a great video. It
Yeah.
showed everything.
Yep, he bought it from the video, the photos and the floor plan.
Our last auction, we had someone who paid $55,000 over reserve
Yep.
for a property they hadn't seen.
Hadn't seen.
They saw the video.
That's it.
Kyle did the video. Yep.
That's it.
Kyle's head's growing bigger by the minute. But you have to grow some more hair out around it to absorb all that. But that it makes a big difference. It allows someone to make decisions,
Of
that
course.
sort of thing. If you've got a video that's just showing a couple of little aspects, I'm talking about detailed videos. Kyle's going right through the place. But for a minimal amount of marketing dollars,
Exactly.
it's crazy not to do that. So professional photos, everything, it's bargain price. I can tell you, having bought Kyle a new camera on the weekend.
Yep.
We've put God knows how many, probably 10 grand's worth of video there, video equipment there with lenses and cameras. So for that sort of money, we're charging it out at, get a great response. It's allowing buyers to make right decisions,
Exactly.
present properties. The presentation of the property is fantastic
Yep.
on our website, all that sort of thing. And if you don't have a floor plan nowadays,
No.
there's something wrong. But so many agents not doing it.
No.
They were doing it all, and now it's just get it on the market and flog it off.
That's right.
And that's
Yeah.
the word I hate. I hate hearing. If anyone in our office says the word flog it off, they get a boot somewhere. But this is what other agents are doing. They just chuck it on the market and flog it off. Take the commission and move on to the next one.
That's it.
No, get the right price for the owner. 2.35 million instead of should have been 2.5 to 2.7.
Yeah.
It's doing things right. So you got to interview a few agents and go with the gut feel. At the end of the
Exactly.
day, don't just get brainwashed by I sell heaps of properties or I'm the cheapest agent in town. It doesn't mean a thing.
No.
You have to get an agent who's going to go out there and work and actually have the guts to say no to a buyer.
That's right.
Here's an offer for you. They will not take that. No, I'm not going to the owner with that. The owners will not accept that price.
Yeah.
You need to be higher.
Yeah.
You need an agent with guts
That's it.
who will go out
Exactly.
their way. And that's probably the key element that I see between agents who get good prices and agents who don't.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's it.
That's property tips for this week. So 6 great tips there. We're probably going over time a bit, but on top of that, holiday rentals going great, permanent rentals still going really well, commercial sales going really well at the moment. Everything's moving great. So if you've got property, you want to sell it, you want to rent it out, you want to holiday rent it, anything that way, get in touch with the team. Give us a call 4980 4400. Comment on the Facebook page, anything that way, we'll get back to you.
Love to.
Absolutely. So until next week, once again, have a great weekend, have a good, safe weekend.